Hello everyone! Today's episode will be the first in a three-part series on how to design your own one-shot adventure.
So please join us while we start by discussing and laying down the foundations for our adventure. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Eugene, and welcome to another episode of
Middle-Aged Barbarians.
Here on the Middle-Aged Barbarians, we like to cover a wide range of topics of all things geek, from tabletop RPGs to board games, media, reviews, and news updates.
So whether you're new to the RPG scene or jaded veterans like us, stick around to watch this pair of guys be barbaric and tear your boredom to shreds.
All right, so where do we start? Where do you want to start, Eddie?
Well, first we have to see what we're going to do with the adventure, the general vibe, the general thing. So,
Okay.
how do you feel? We spoke a few episodes ago about the Feywild. How about we do something with that?
Sounds good to me. Now, when we're talking about doing a one-shot, we're thinking maybe like 1-2 sessions tops.
Tops. So it's got to be very simple, and you have to take into account that probably their players are going to diverge from your... You cannot railroad them that much, so...
No, and you can have, this can give you an opportunity to create or work with characters that maybe you're not going to be spending a lot of time with, so you can maybe do different things or be a little crazy or try out a different class or something. So theme, Feywild. Okay. What
What do we have in mind with that? Yeah, like I told you, how about we do something about like that series? I told you about that book that was also made into a series, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. The main deal that happens is this: a woman is enchanted by a fairy. That's the way That's the way the main wizard gets powers, because he gives her half her life. And what that means actually is that half her life at night she lives in the Feywild.
Okay.
But she's also enchanted, and she cannot say that she's cursed. So basically, what the whole story revolves around is the people figure out what is happening, because it's very weird, and weird stuff is happening because of the curse. So maybe do something with that. Not, or maybe not the same mystery.
Okay.
But-
So we could do Feywild. There can be a curse that's affecting a person or people.
Persons, yes. And it's caused by fairies, but maybe our players don't know that. Probably they shouldn't know that.
Okay. So maybe I'm thinking small town, little village somewhere, befell by this curse where during the day everything seems normal and then at nighttime
Everybody's dancing, for instance.
something weird is going on. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually what happens. Everybody's tired. The main lady is Lady Pole is the name of the character. She's very tired during the day. She like falls like sick, but it's because all night she's dancing with the fairies at the Feywild.
Well, it reminds me, I know it's not related at all, but you're probably more familiar with the author than I am. The guy who writes a book about this lady that's sleeping and there's a bug under her pillow and she doesn't know it, and it's like a blood-sucking tick. So the more she sleeps and tries to rest, the more sick she gets.
And at the end, it's called The Pillow Boy. I forgot the name of the author. Yeah,
Is it Coelho? No.
No, it's not Coelho. It's another Latin American title. Yeah, at the end of the day, the husband finds the bug, but it's like huge, like a pillow. That's why it's called The Pillow.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. And maybe the players have to figure out. As you can see, it's not that combat oriented. There's not gonna be hordes of things. I mean, we have to think of some other challenges for the players in between, but it's basically solving the mystery.
At what level do you think would be good? I'm personally, I like maybe from 3 to 5. I think they're a little chunky and they're not going to die too quick, but they're not yet overpowered and stuff.
Yeah, and you can toss some stuff that if they do their research, you can toss some stuff that is way above their challenge rating if they manage to be clever about it. So yeah, level 5 seems good.
All right, so we'll establish a level 5. Now, what would be the goal of the players? Like, how can we? What's the setup that we can do for this?
Let's start for the hook, right? We have the setting is the small town.
Is this something like a side quest that just happens while they're traveling somewhere else?
Yeah, I think so. That would make sense. Maybe they're just on their way and they enter. Maybe we can do it a little Ravenlofty and they just appear on the town and they don't know why, and they cannot leave for some reason. So maybe that's part of the curse.
Okay.
something Silent Hill vibes as well.
Okay. So this is like the darker Fae.
I'm going that way. I think in that way. Yeah, maybe it's not that violent, but it's gonna be. Draining.
I like it. And how? All right. So we've established level. We have the theme, the area. You say it's not. Your idea isn't very combative, although there has to be at least one fight somewhere in there.
I'm thinking like 2 or 3, maybe one with some of the enchanted people attack them.
Okay.
And that depends. Do they manage to solve that not non-lethally?
Okay.
Because that kind of be a moral stretch. Maybe one of the guardians and the final Fae itself, which I don't know which sort of Fae we would work with. I think we'd have to figure out on our database.
Well, the good thing is we already have access to the pre-launch of the new monster manual, and they have their things categorized, so we can just look in the Fae and see what's around that level and see if something fits. If not, we can make something fit.
Yeah, we can add something up. Perhaps there's a human that's allied with the fairy, and that's why the Fae managed to do its work on the town. Maybe it's
Okay, so there's a pact
with somebody. Maybe I'm thinking the ruler is too obvious, but I'm thinking I don't know, something like a child. That would be pretty fun.
Villagers, okay.
Yeah, like a child made a deal with the fairy, and it cost all of this. So you have to figure out who's responsible. The whole shebang. We can give them clues, and at the end we'll have a little bit of combat against the fairy.
All right, so they have to reach the village somehow. They have to discover what's going on, discover happenings, maybe figure out origin or cause.
Origin, cause,
which would be the
child,
NPC child, and they have to figure out a way to
end it and leave,
stop the curse, or escape.
Or escape. Yeah, that's maybe another option. They can leave them to their fates. What I'm thinking, a good hook would be that they themselves are trapped as well, because reasons, I don't know, magic.
That sounds good to me.
The Fae magic.
Okay. So I mean, this is like the first part of the idea of how we're going to set this up. We have conditions for success, level party, CR encounters. I mean, we're going to go later on and figure out how these encounters can be set up. And before that, we do the world building and actual stuff. What do you think we would need as a stage then? It would be a village?
A small village? Yeah. I'm thinking a village and maybe even a manor. A manor in the village. Kind of a little bit of a red herring. I mean, I'm thinking the Fae would probably be there in the manor. It would probably have taken over the manor, but it's not actually. I mean, I don't know. We can have a few places: a manor, a church.
The thought of, I don't know if you ever read Bridge to Terabithia.
No, I haven't read it, and didn't even see the movie. I heard it's really good.
The book's really good. The movie's not bad. It's like kids' fantasy and stuff, and there's this part where they decide to make their own secret place in the woods, and they get there in their fantasy. They have to swing through a tree rope and stuff, and they get into the actual land of Terabithia. So maybe if it's a child and there's this childish aspect, maybe there's a place in the woods where they first contacted the Fae or did something.
And they have to get to the woods. That makes sense.
That's actually something really cool that I got to see on my last trip. Was there's a lot of like fairy villages. Like people would just decorate parts of the forests and the woodlands in Ireland with like little
fairy things.
Yeah, they'd build little houses or they'd put structures up or mirrors and a lot of pretty interesting.
Oh, we can do that here as well. Have that is happening here as well. That we have those sort of symbols,
those little details in there. What else am I missing for the foundations for what we want to set up as the baseline?
And we established maybe a Ravenloftian thing that they get into the village. They were walking, and one day they run into it, and they cannot leave. I'm guessing that would be the easiest way to make a hook for it.
Okay.
So they really, really don't know anything.
Now, what do you think the purpose of the Fae doing what they're doing would be?
Oh, they want to have fun.
Or just pure mischievous.
Pure mischief, pure fun, and power. They like to feel like kings in the castle. Let's say that.
Okay. I'm thinking brownies. I'm thinking like alouches. Like here where we're at, there's a local fae called Alouche.
Yeah.
Which is like a little sprite, a little brownie that plays tricks and can be quite nasty if they want to be.
If they want to be, or they can be helpful if they like you, which is something that also happens in the book I mentioned. There's this character who's a black man who lives in Great Britain, and the Fae takes a liking to him, but he doesn't like the Fae. But he cannot say that because he knows it's a powerful being. So he follows along, but they say, "Oh, you're so handsome, you should be a king." And then he steals the crown jewels of Britain and gives it to the guy, and he's like,
that's gonna be a problem.
yeah, you should take it back, sir. Sorry, and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. Yeah, stuff like that happens.
Okay.
That maybe, or maybe you know what we could do? We could have two Fae that they're messing with each other,
Okay. Like a
sort of a duel of mischief,
Okay.
and we have to solve it.
Like Good Omens.
Kind of like Good Omens, yeah.
What is that?
Good Omens is a book by let's call him late, Neil Gaiman. He's been really, revelations have come about how we have to separate the art from the artist, let's say. But it's about the friendship of an angel and a demon.
Okay.
They're like best friends, but they have been friends since forever, literally forever. So it's kind of funny.
Was there a TV show about that?
There was a TV show.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
I think I started watching that in early.
Oh no, it's not your sort of humor. No, it's more. It's a different sort of humor, but I find it really good. But yeah, that sort of thing could make sense. Like these two fairies are trying to. And that's why weird stuff happens. They're messing with the common people. So maybe we have two camps: the kids versus the adults, or something like that. That kind of goes into Children of the Corn territory.
And that would be very Ravenloftian.
Yes, but no, we want to be a little more lighter.
All right. So that's good. So I think we've got pretty much everything we need to start.
Yeah, the first step is they get here magically, or by chance they stumble into the village and they cannot leave. So that's their motivation.
And so I think, how are we on time? Well, we're good. I think next episode we can actually flesh out the village. We can like do something with the surrounding areas, figure out kind of what
The whole deal is
where they're going to be stuck in this
thing. Yeah, the kind of the meat. But yeah, I think we got a pretty good skeleton to work with.
And maybe flesh out a couple NPCs, some important characters.
And maybe even the dwelling fairies that we're going to talk about. Maybe give them a little bit of personality, and yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. So that's what we will be doing on our next episode. Like we mentioned, this is a 3-part series, maybe 4 if we get lucky and convince the producers to try and play test it, but that may be farther along the line.
Yes, maybe we'll polish it even a little bit more.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you in the next episode.
So that's the end of the video. If you haven't already, please drop a like and subscribe to their channel, and please feel free to leave us your comments, suggestions, and questions below.
Yes, also come follow us on our other social media like Instagram, TikTok, and join us on our Discord channel over at the Indie Hobby server. Links in the description.
And as always, remember to rage responsibly. We'll see you in the next episode.
Roll the dice!